and adventure. On this program, I'll show you how to draw in 3 dimensions using the special art word symmetry. First, we'll draw a real fancy chain, a chain that will be like the one we add to the Secret City mural. Now, when we get over to the mural, I'll use the chain to hold up parts of the underplanet world. My special guest today is Al Grosso, a cartoonist. Now, Al is going to show us different ways to add props, clothing, and gesture to our cartoon characters. I know how much you want to become a member of the Secret City Club, so I'll tell you how easy and how fun it is to join. Now, here's what you need to follow along today. You ready? You need your drawing pad, your drawing pencil, and your guest book to take notes on developing your own cartoon characters. Now, you gather those materials together, and I'll be right back. So in a super positive attitude, right? You got your pencil ready, you have your paper out in front of you, right? Okay, we're ready to draw today. I always get in a good mood when I start to draw. Now, we're using that 7 magic words plus a super important art word, which is symmetry. Now, when you use symmetry in a drawing, it helps balance your drawing out. See, you're duplicating or repeating an object the same on one side as it is on the other side of your paper. Now, I'll show that example of symmetry when we draw a chain. Chain's a very nice symmetrical drawing. Now, we'll start here with your piece of paper in front of you and your pencil and draw the inside of one chain link. It's going to be a rather big chain link. See how it curves at the top, comes down, vertical line that curves up again. Now we'll draw the inside of the links first, and then we'll go back and add the detail of the outside. There's another chain link. Okay. We'll add another chain link right here. See how they hook right here at the end and at the top. And I'll leave room down here because I'm going to put a potted fern to show you symmetry. Nature is a good example of all these art terms. Just like symmetry, in plants, symmetry is seen all the time. In a pine cone, if you took your hand and covered up half a pine cone and then moved your hand on the other side of the pine cone, they both look symmetrical. They both look like they're the same design, which is a really pleasing effect to the eye. Now I'm ready to go back through here and add the detail for the chain. Okay, now there's the outside of the first link. I'll draw the outside. Now you want to be consistent with the thickness. This is about this thick, and so I want to be consistent with the thickness. Draw the inside links right here. And then another inside link. This is fun, huh? Don't you get in a good mood when you start to draw? So you're becoming much more confident, I've noticed that. You're also getting more enthusiastic about your drawing because you've really got that control. You've mastered that 7 magic words, and you've really got the control and the confidence. And with confidence comes enthusiasm with your drawing. Now there's our first link, you see, and the second link right here. And we'll draw a link above here. It curves up above, and then it goes up into the roof, and this curves behind. Nice round chain links. Another chain link here, another chain link here. Now, I'm not going to shade this. I want you to see if you can shade this later on. Remember, you decide where the light source is coming from. Do you want the light coming from this area and coming down? Or do you want the light coming from this area and coming down? And remember, you shade opposite of the light source. Now, we'll draw a nice foreshortened circle down here underneath. Use symmetry. Remember, the middle line will separate our drawing. We'll draw the foreshortened circle right about the center of the drawing. This is a very good symmetrical drawing. Look at this. See? It's the same on this side as it is on this side. You notice that? We'll draw the outside of the foreshortened circle, and then we'll draw the pot slanting down, still using symmetry. It's the same slant on both sides. And then curve the bottom. Now we'll make an interesting clay pot. Instead of just coming straight down right here and slanting these down, I'll draw a small curved section, and then put a dot below the center, go off in direction, what direction is this? Direction 7, direction 1, and then go behind, and then I'll slant this out. It's an interesting pot, isn't it? But see, it's still symmetrical. this slant and this slant are still the same. Direction 7, direction 1, and again, I'll let you decide what side you want to shade, and I'll let you shade it on your own. Now, it's time to add the fern leaves coming out of the pot right here. Okay? I'll draw this. Remember symmetry. It's a tough word. Same on both sides. A nice little S-curve flowing through here, and I'll draw a couple leaves here. Now, in leaves, if you ever take up a look at a leaf you find on the sidewalk or in your backyard, take a look at the symmetry in the leaf. See, it's right down the middle. It's the same on both sides. What's this? Did you put this envelope here? No, you didn't. Who did? To Commander Mark. Ah, fan mail. Let's see what my fans have to say. This is a pretty envelope. Looks like Saturn. Okay. Let me see here. Dear Commander Mark. Ah, isn't that cute? I seem to have misplaced my yellow sunglasses. If you should find them in your personal environment, I would appreciate you returning them to me. Sincerely, Zebtron. Zebtron lost his sunglasses? That's pretty disastrous. He has a hard time seeing without them. Have you seen his sunglasses? No? Well, our special guest, Al Grosso, the cartoonist, is here. Al, have you seen Zebtron sunglasses?
No, I haven't, Commander Mark. Cindy, Cindy, have you seen Zebtron sunglasses? It's a strange reaction. I wonder what's wrong with Cindy. Well, maybe we'll find out later.
I wonder what Cindy's up to. The mystery of Zebtron sunglasses. Well, make sure if you see them, if you spot them on your kitchen table or in your closet, you let us know. Zebtron's blind without those glasses. Okay, and then we'll draw. See, symmetry, both on the same side are equal, and they balance out the drawings, and it's a nice repeated form, repeated shape for your eye to enjoy. This is a really nice pattern. See these ferns? You just draw curves on both sides. And you can do these leaves as much as you want. Now, don't shade right now. I see you starting to shade. Go ahead and work on the texture of these leaves, the symmetry of these leaves, and shade later on after the lesson, okay? I want you to spend time right now working on the structure of this plant. Now, we'll make it even more vivacious, more enthusiastic. We'll start exploding these leaves out of here like this. Use the same design, balancing the drawing. You have to balance the weight. See, if all the leaves are over here, you know what would happen? It would tilt over and all the dirt and everything would fall out. So make sure you balance your drawing with symmetry. All the way up here. Have you decided how you're going to shade this chain yet? Well, remember, when you're shading, get nice and dark back here underneath. We'll work on 2 more leaves. You know what I want to do? I want to break the symmetry just a bit and have one of the leaves wrap right through one of these chains. It's a nice idea, huh? So you can get real crazy, have some fun with your drawings. And then I'll put another leaf here. You can droop these as far down as you'd like. Remember, drawing's fun. This is your drawing. You can do anything you want to it. Your imagination and your ideas. You can make it as balanced as you want. Draw about 30 minutes a day. And the super, super, super important art word to remember, what is it? Symmetry. Have you joined the drawing club yet? Well, if you haven't, what I want you to do is to do a special drawing, and you mail it in to me, and as soon as you mail it in, I'll make you an automatic member of the elite, super cool Secret City Club. Now, I want to make this club more popular than rock and roll music, so you send in your drawings today. Now, this week's drawing for you to complete is to design and create your own vehicle for the moon or for your planetscape. Now, as soon as you finish your vehicle, I want you to mail it in. Now, here's an example of Tim's vehicle he designed for his Secret City Club membership. Isn't it a nice drawing? Now, as soon as you finish your drawing, I want you to send it into the Secret City Club, Post Office Box 444, Moraga, California, 94556.
Hi. I'm going to show you how to use clothing, props, which are properties, things that cartoon characters carry with them, and gesture, the way the character stands, the things the character does with his or her hands, to use all these things to communicate to the person that looks at your drawings what the character is all about, what the character's age might be, what his or her occupation might be, what their personality might be like, etc. Okay, I've got a character up here on the easel, and I think at a glance it should be very easy for whoever looks at it to tell what this character is all about. I hope you recognize the character as being a country boy, sort of a Huckleberry Finn type character. He's dressed in bib overalls, got a little patch on his knee, the straw hat thrown back on the head, just coming back from fishing. And I think the prop here is important in developing his personality, where he might live, what type of character he might be, because it's just a bamboo fishing pole you might use at the old fishing hole. It's not a fiberglass spin casting rod. He's got a little hayseed in his mouth. There's another character here. I think by looking at the way the clothing and the gesture, the thing the character's doing here is pretty easy to tell that this is a basketball player. That's very characteristic of a basketball player, spinning the ball on the end of his finger. I never could do that. Big basketball shoes, sweatband. Got another character here. This is a flashback from my childhood. I remember going to the doctor, and this is sort of what my family doctor looked like. And you make mental records of the kinds of things that the particular character uses. In this case, a doctor. Tongue depressors, the sticky sticks in your mouth to get you open your mouth, a little hammer to test your knee reflex, and a little reflector on the top of his head. And of course, and I've exaggerated this prop, we've got the old hypodermic needle. Okay, why don't I show you how you can take props, clothing, gesture, let me get those out of the way, and sort of build a cartoon character for you using those things. Now, I think it's interesting at this point that it's hard to tell what this character's supposed to be, what he's all about. Maybe you get a hint from the way he's standing, but all we have here is a head stuck on top of some basic shapes. There's no way really at this point to tell what the character is going to be. If I start to add some particular props, clothing, etc., you might be able to tell. Maybe that helps out. Here's one of the pieces of clothing I think that'll really give you a good hint as to what this character's supposed to be. Have any idea yet what we're building toward? I think, if you haven't guessed by now, it's a cowboy. We've got this, let's give him a vest. Clothing's very important. You know, when you read books or go to the movies or watch TV, you sort of make records in your mind of the things that you see, what these particular things look like. Hello, Cindy. I'm drawing a cartoon character. Yes. Showing how to use props and gestures. Okay. Yeah, well, clothing's important, Cindy, but this isn't exactly what we had in mind. You see, this is... yeah, well, he's already got a nose, but, you know, say that's a pretty interesting nose. I really admire that nose for some reason. Looks sort of like mine. Sunglasses, great, but, whoa, wait a minute, Cindy. These sunglasses look awfully familiar to me. They wouldn't by any chance belong to Zebtron, would they? Oh, I see. You borrowed them to see if I could use them in my drawing. Very good. Yeah, okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'll hold on to them, and then I'll give them to Zebtron when I see him, okay? Thanks, Cindy. Yeah, you can stay and watch if you like. Yeah. Can you tell what the character is so far? I've got a... Yeah, you got it. He's a cowboy. That's Cindy. Boy, she's sharp. Sharp. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to put his arm up. Maybe we'll put something in his hand later. This is my favorite part of the cowboy outfit. Little gun belt. There. Yeah, for defense only for defense. You know, out on the range, rattlesnakes, etc. Let's put that holster in there. All right. I'll sort of let it hang over his leg. And a big revolver. Oh, a little background music. That's great. Yeah, that gets me in the mood. Can you do hoofbeats? That's it. You got it. Chaps. Yeah, they protect the cowboy's legs from a horse, etc. Cactus. If you brush up against the cactus, you're not wearing your chaps, or you're in trouble. Okay, and let's get the boots on him. High heeled cowboy boots. I could put spurs on him later. Okay, I think you get the idea. And let's see what we can do with his hands. Maybe we can put Zebtron's glasses in his hand. How's that? So you did help after all. Okay.
I have some magnificent drawings I got from a student who dared to conquer that flat piece of paper. He learned the 7 magic words of drawing and really, really control the piece of paper. Now take a look at this. This is Kimby's drawing. It's a girl. Now this is Kimby's pretest. Now I would suggest that you do this sometimes and you have an extra chance. Is take a piece of paper and do 6 sketches and to put a date on it and measure your drawing skill now as compared to after a few days after you really learn these magic words and you control that piece of paper. Look at this. This is the first day. 12 days later, take a look at this. Now see if you can't spot out all the different areas where can be used the magic words. Surface. You see where she used surface in there? See how the near corner of the building is lower than the paper in the far corner? Size. You see where she used size? What about contour? You see the contour lines wrapping around the legs of the robot there in the middle? What about overlapping? What about density? Look at that. Beautiful drawing. Shading also. Thanks, Kimby, for seeing that. It's really good work. You know, using these art words in your drawings really enhances your pictures. Now, they'll captivate your eyes and almost like music to your eye if you use these art words correctly on your piece of paper. Now, I want to draw, using symmetry, a chain holding the little inhabitant area of the Furbies, as Zebtron calls them, of the underground. I want to use this chain to hold up this inhabitants to the top of the underground planet cave. So I've sketched in my chain right here, and I'll use my fine point pen, and I'll come through here and I'll add the detail. I'm going to draw a connecting ring. You see, now this is planted in the ground right down here. Then later I'll put some grass around that and hide that. This, you can imagine how huge this connecting ring is compared to this small little living hut right here. See? What art word is that? Proportion. It makes this look huge if this is small. Proportion. Using symmetry that we learned today, I'm going to draw the connecting chain, the links going up here. I'll draw the inside ring, the inside ring, the inside ring, the inside ring, and use this repetition, this repetitive design or pattern all the way up. See, it's really nice to look at, isn't it? And then I'll draw the outside rings. Isn't drawing fun? It really captivates you and gets you moving. Why don't you start a drawing frenzy in your area? See, you're learning how to draw from me. Why don't you teach your friends how to draw? And then those friends can teach their friends how to draw, and pretty soon everybody in the whole universe will know how to draw, right? All right, that's the spirit. We'll get everybody to draw. Because it's fun drawing. If you're in a good mood, you draw. So we want everybody to be in a good mood, right? Okay. I'm going to draw the other side of my ring right down here. We'll call it the Secret City Drawing Mania. Okay, I like that. That sounds catchy. I figure if everybody gets into be as an enthusiastic mood drawing with their pencil as I do, then we'll be a lot better off if we start smiling. Now I'll draw this back chain, the thickness of it. See, I try to be consistent with the size all the way through. Now I'm going to let you decide what pattern of shading I should use. Should I use dots on the chain, or cross hatching, or what kind of texture I should use on the design right here? I can use small little circles or squares. Oh, we need another connecting ring. So we have the connecting ring connecting the bottom part of the chain to the inhabitant area, so we need something from the roof. I'll draw another connecting ring. This gets tricky in here because you start getting really detailed. And then we'll have some rope coming down here, and then a circle in the middle to connect it. That's kind of interesting, something different. Okay, have you decided what kind of shading you want? Do you want to use dots or cross hat? Hello, Cindy. Want me to climb up your chain? Oh, you brought it for me to wear. You know, look at Cindy. This is symmetry. If I cut this right down the middle, it'll be the same on one side as it is on the other. Can I keep this? You're so nice. Okay. What do you think? Is it me? Metaman designed it. Okay, that's good. Did you ever find Zebtron's glasses? You did. Are you going to give it back to him? Okay, well, be sure you do, because he's missing them. He left me a note on my lesson. I'm going to add some shading right through here. Cindy, can you hold this? I don't want this to fall. I don't want to ruin your nice creation. You can tell me. You want dot shading or do you want crosshatch shading? Okay. Like that? You can hear it. See, if I dot the left side, and I really get nice and dark underneath each overhang. In fact, I'm going to go through and add this darkness first. Real dark under that overhang, right in here. Real dark underneath here, underneath here. See where I'm doing this? There's a pattern to this, Cindy. You make this chain sit underneath the front chain by making it dark underneath there. It's like a cast shadow. It's like if you put your foot on the ground, or you, in your case, if you took your paw and you put it on the ground, you saw the shading on the side, a cast shadow. It's a little cast shadow underneath there. Can I shade your... That's another bad joke, huh? Sorry about that. I promise you I wouldn't say any more bad jokes. But you know, you're very nice to let me get away with that stuff.
You're having that.
You're going to leave already, huh? All right, see you later, Cindy. I'm gritting my teeth, of course. See, every time I start shading, it makes me chuckle, and I have a good time. I'm going to shade underneath here very darkly. And then you want to draw just a couple chain links grouping down right here? That might be interesting. I'll draw a small little ring, and then we'll droop a chain down from this ring, connecting something else. I'm not quite sure what, but we'll figure it out. Now, when I'm working on the underplanet world, I get lots of ideas for the mural. And the whole idea of the other worlds and other dimensions have fascinated lots of artists for a long time. Now, here's Max Weber's idea of the fourth dimension. So have you visited your local museum lit? Your local art museum? Have you looked at some art books lately? Well, I guarantee you, if you open up those books, or if you walk into that museum, you'll get tons and tons of ideas for your drawings. Like me up here with my drawings. I get lots of my ideas from other artists. It's called research. Now, Cindy wanted me to continue with dots all along here, so I'm going to continue with the dots. See, I have that recess shadow in there, and I'll do the shading later, but right now, I want to draw one more chain link. I draw the inside links all the way down, and then I'll draw the connecting rod, wrapping around. So you can get really crazy and just make your drawings your own unique creations. They don't have to make much sense, only to you. See, how often do you see chains like this in the underground planet? Not very often. And I'll just leave this chain hanging, and eventually I'll make, say a Furby or Unibear hanging right here from the chain. I'll take my dark pen. Ooh, I almost forgot the back part of that. Can't forget sections or it'll fall apart on you. Okay. Draw, draw, draw. Practice your drawings about 30 minutes a day. Stay in a super, super positive attitude, and I'll see you next time.